Hey everyone, Jordan Chavez here. Once again, I am the morning anchor for 9 News in Denver. We are the NBC affiliate. And more importantly, I am so excited to be your MC for the first ever Cabaret on the Rocks benefiting Out Boulder, a more than worthy cause that is so deep and near and dear to me, and of course, the LGBTQ plus community here in Colorado. Uh, we have been able to talk to some incredible guests that are going to be at Cabaret on the Rocks, but I think we saved probably and almost inarguably the best for last today because we have the distinct honor of interviewing three-time RuPaul's Drag Race contestant, the one, the only Latrice Royale. She was actually crowned Miss Congeniality in season four, becoming, of course, a fan favorite and returning to compete in two seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars. Now, Latrice, a very busy person. Latrice has been featured cast member of RuPaul's Drag Race Live as well in Las Vegas. She's going to be returning to that stage after her performance with us in Boulder. And most recently, Latrice has been announced to be starring in season four of HBO's We're Here. Get the tissues ready. You're going to be crying. Latrice, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay, well, first off, the big question we got to talk about is RuPaul's Drag Race, because I think we all remember your special introduction: large and in charge, chunky and funky, bold and beautiful. How did those words come to you?
That's me. I've always had a larger than life personality. And so like I didn't even go in with ideals of catchphrases. I didn't know what a catchphrase was. I just talk a lot of crap. And so like whatever comes up comes out. And a friend of mine, when I used to work at his club, he used to always announce me as the chunky yet funky when I'm coming into town. And so I just kind of like took it and ran with it. And so here I am.
Well, that catchphrase has certainly made you, a nice little chunk of change, right?
That's truly, truly.
Laughing all the way to the bank, Latrice. Tell us a bit about how you found your way into drag and how that kind of transformed into a career on RuPaul's Drag Race.
It's wild because I started drag as a dare on Halloween, or my friends, kind of encouraged me to do it. And I went kicking and screaming, but I wound up doing Wanda from A Living Color when Jamie Foxx was playing that character. Y'all know, the old timers know. But I did that and it was a lot of fun, but I was a hot mess. It was nothing serious. But they convinced me to do the amateur show at the Copacabana here in Fort Lauderdale, legendary club that is no more. May she rest in peace. And I did amateur night, didn't have any shoes or hair. We just got creative. I went out there in a turban and barefoot and did a lyrical dance at the drag show. Baby, they said, no, ma'am, no, not tonight. And I was kind of like miffed because I knew I had some talent. I just didn't know how to hone it in, what I was doing yet. But the next week, my roommates found me some hair and got me some heels, and I made my own dress. It was horrible. But I won the contest doing Patti LaBelle New Attitude and won. And then that was the beginning of the end. And so here we are 31 years later.
We call that, my friend, we call that talent, where you can go in with nothing prepared, you don't got your armor on and you still win that battle. I have to ask because you just exude confidence. What was it like that first time performing?
That was terrifying because, they're all going to laugh at you. And they did. So I got that out the way. And then nothing else could scare me because I've already got the worst part of my worst fears out. Your hair falling off, check, done it. You know what I mean? Those are the things that you fear the most. And then once you conquer those fears and the worst things happen, you know how to get through it. So now what?
And then how did you take it from that first performance to the first time you stepped on the set of RuPaul's Drag Race?
Oh, well, that's been a journey. I did start making a name of myself for myself here in South Florida and throughout the state. I was club kid number one because I was the high energy girl that was going to turn the party and make the crowd go wild every time, no matter what I did. And so that became kind of my thing. But to get national recognition, we as drag queens, we have pageantry, and so pageants were the thing for me then, and that was not my path either. And come to find out, and so literally sitting in my room when RuPaul's Drag Race came on, I was a fan. Watched every Monday night when it was on Logo TV. Old timers know that too. But I was a fan, and I was watching the show. I was very encouraged because on season 3 they had 2 big girls, and I was rooting for the big girls. And the big girls weren't big girls. They were not owning their sides. Delta was, but that Stacey Lane Matthews. Mm-mm. So she inspired me to go write a letter. So I wrote an angry email saying how I was large and in charge, chunky yet funky. Here's my pictures, and I'm tired of these fat girls crying about being fat on your show. I can show you better, I can tell you. And they called me. And 2 days later, they called me. And I didn't even know they were casting at the time. And so, next thing I know, I was putting in an audition tape and got on the show.
And now you've been on the show 3 times.
Yeah, and Drag You. Don't forget about Drag You.
That's right. Okay. And you also won Miss Congeniality. So clearly you definitely brought that personality that you didn't see in the seasons that you were watching from home. So you definitely have become a role model in that way. I have to ask, going from the days where you're putting together a last minute look before you go and do your first performance to who you are now, how would you describe Latrice's style?
My style? Latrice is all glamour. I love to be elegant and regal and expensive looking. Um, Even when I'm casual, I would like to look like I have money, even though I don't. But you know what I mean? You got to fake it till you make it. But yeah, Latrice has always been a classy lady, always.
Now, I gotta say, whenever I talk to a lot of people that I was going to be interviewing you today, one of the big questions that because they have so many iconic moments that they can list of you, I'm curious for you, what was your favorite part of doing the show? What are some of the memories that stand out to you the most from being a part of that program?
Well, it did so much for me, get past the, popularity and catapulting your career. For me personally, I found my purpose and my um, passion and what I was supposed to do with my purpose, and I had a testimony and I could help people with my story. And all the while doing that, I was healing myself from my own trauma. And so finding that, you can't put a price tag on that kind of experience. And so I have to say that on my original season, the show did give me that, and I'm forever grateful.
Is there a moment you replay in your head over and over and almost kind of wish you could go relive it again?
Um, well, I mean, you know, it, it's the connection that you make over the years. Like from that moment, I've been very blessed and fortunate to be able to travel the world and connect with the fans on a level that is just undescribable, and it's overwhelming because you just don't know how you affect people just by being you. I wasn't putting on airs, I was just being who I was and telling it like it was. And that was impactful for people's lives. And they found strength in that and them within themselves to be able to get through whatever they're going through. So I kind of relive those moments frequently.
It's funny because before, when I was doing my research, I just wanted to write down words that I would use to describe you. And along with confidence, authenticity was also on there, which is exactly what you are describing. That's something I feel like we don't get too much of in today's world. Of course, everything has a filter. Everybody's watching what they say. They're afraid of cancel culture. They're afraid to put themselves really out there. And that's something you have seemed to have no trouble doing. How did you get that?
Because once you are like bound in your truth and living your truth and being that authentic person and walking the walk and not just talking the talk, there's nothing that I'm afraid of because I put myself out there. I've shared my most vulnerable moments. I'm an open book. So you can call, and I've been called everything under the sun. So it's, it's not what you're called, it's what you answer to, right? So, I answer to money and I answer to success and I answer to being loved and, those things. So, um, so for those people that, go that other route, I wish them the best and I hope they get the help they need. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna go be successful and happy.
You pump a lot of positivity and joy out into society with just the work that you do and the different projects. What's been the response? What do you hear from your fans?
How proud they are and how they are um they want me to keep on keeping on. I get a little emotional because it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. I just did a little Southern California tour because I missed the clubs. It's been 4 years since I've been doing clubs because I've done other projects and elevated out of that. But I missed it, and I wanted to go reconnect with my sisters, and I wanted to go have some fun. And the response of love was so overwhelming. The kids came out to the club, packed it out for them, sold out. It was just wonderful, a wonderful feeling. And those are the kind of moments that I cherish. You know what I mean? I never forget where I come from because I'm never too successful to go back to where I thrived. I thrived in the clubs. And so I will always be club kid number one. That's for sure.
The fact that you remember your roots, I think, is something that is so relatable and something that a lot of people identify in themselves. And I think that's one reason you have probably been the most talked about name with this event. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But really quickly, I want to ask because Latrice has so many iconic looks. Is there a designer that you specifically love working with the most, or maybe a list of designers?
I do have a very esteemed list um, that really keep me looking top notch. The way that my brand and the way I feel represents me the best. That is David Dalrymple out of New York City, Tom Ogden out of Los Angeles, Diego Montoya out of New York City. Um, they have really helped me elevate to a standard. And Marco, can't forget about Marco. Elevate me to a standard of excellence that I want to keep going. You know what I mean? Because for the longest time, you have to know that finding a designer to work with bigger girls was not easy. It was not fashionable to sew for big girls, and a lot of designers were sizes. But these guys, no problem. And the bigger the better. They just going to exaggerate it. You get bigger shoulder pads. You're going to get bigger hip. Like they know how to. Mm. So I can send them any kind of fashion that this little skinny girl's wearing and have it supersized.
Amen. Amen. I'm from Texas. That's our motto. The bigger the better.
The
Like,
bigger
why
the
not?
better.
I have to ask a greedy question when it comes to RuPaul's Drag Race. Is there ever a chance or an opportunity that we're going to see you grace our screens on that show again as a contestant, maybe? Would you ever come back?
um, there would have to be. It would have to be a like an all-star situation where number one they pay you, give you a stipend, there's no elimination, or it's for charity. Like they're doing one, there's one coming out that's for like charity. So I would do something like that. But other than that, no, 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 no.
So you're saying there's a chance. All right.
There's a chance, but it would have to be you don't have to pay me.
Okay, understood. Last question regarding Drag Race, and then we're going to get to the good stuff. Do you have a favorite look of yours that you could just stare at yourself all day long in that?
um, I mean, one of my favorite photos is just me in jewelry and nothing else because I love jewelry and I love sparkle. And I mean, I'll send it to you so you can see what I'm talking about. I look so juicy in this photo. And so it's kind of my favorite thing. So yeah, I could just look at myself all day in some jewelry and some big hair. Mm, mm, mm,
I need to see this photo. I need to see it. Please send it our way so we can share it.
mm.
Okay, I was just going to say, you said you love, getting to meet your fans and be around that positive energy. You're going to get a chance to actually meet a lot of them whenever you come to Colorado next month, of course, for the first ever Cabaret on the Rocks. I've had the distinct honor and pleasure of talking with Hugh Pinero from Broadway, of course, best known for playing Phantom from Phantom of the Opera. John McDaniel, of course, he was on the Rosie O'Donnell show, and then also a big Broadway composer himself. They are living legends themselves, and they are almost more excited to meet you than
What?
anything they've done.
Really?
I'm telling you. I mean, look at people are very excited for you to be here. Have you ever performed with such Broadway greats? I know you have a background in theater a little bit.
Mind you, but not that much. No, not 2000 runs, the over 2000 runs. No, I have not. But I'm kind of geeking out, you know what I mean? Because like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? This is like Broadway royalty. And it feels good. It's very flattering that he's fangirling me and I'm fangirling him.
Have you ever watched either of them perform?
Well, not live, but yeah, but for sure. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, you're going to be performing with them live on stage next month. And again, I think maybe more than you're excited, they were incredibly excited. I have to ask, when it comes to, of course, this is such an important cause that Out Boulder is working toward, and you're going to be such a big part of helping raise money for that. Why is doing an event like Cabaret on the Rocks so important for you?
Wow. First of all, any um, situation that is for a cause and a worthy cause such as this and raising money. And if I can do my part in any way to help change and enrich someone's life, I'm there for it. And I'm honored to be a part of it. It is necessary, especially in these times, because we're up against so much opposition and it's a political year. It's just so like everything that we do right now is a political statement and it is necessary and poignant. So I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Can you give us a little bit of a tease of what we can expect from Latrice Royale on the stage?
Oh, hon. I'm going to give you the full gamut because I feel like it's necessary for you to see. Of course, you'll hear me sing vocally, but I have to take you to church. I have to do a little lip syncing for your life, for the children, so y'all can really, get into it. So, I'll
Well, Latrice,
take you on the full journey.
we
Yeah.
are so excited to have you here. I'm just curious. We're almost out of time. Um, do you have anything you want to say to the people of Colorado before we get to be in your presence next month?
I'm so looking forward to it. Make sure you get your tickets. I don't know if it's sold out or not, but if it is, try again next year.
It's going to get bigger and better. And Latrice, can, can we get a commitment from you now? Do you want to be there next year when we do this?
Baby, I'm in. I'm in. Sign me up.
Okay, great. Sending you the contract over right after this. How about that? Okay, again, as Latrice was talking about, Cabaret on the Rocks, you do not want to miss it. You better get your tickets now. It's going to go fast. It is April 12th at the iconic Boulder Theater in Boulder. Latrice, have you ever been to Colorado?
Yeah, but not Boulder in a while. Like, no, not Boulder.
Okay, well, get ready. It's
I'm
going to be a
ready.
good time. And make sure you stay hydrated. Right, altitude. Don't forget that.
That's the part I gotta remember.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, Latrice, we can't wait to have you. We can't wait to see everybody there. Latrice, thanks for the time. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.